Hello there everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Junkin 101 with Cassie, and of course I'm Cassie. So today I have some very exciting news to share with everybody. I have been accepted onto a design team. So I'm going to be doing some design team project stuff for a lady named Caroline. She is on Facebook, YouTube, and Etsy. And all three of her channels and shops and all that is called Caroline's Craft Tree. I will have all the information down in the description box below for you guys, so just go on down there and click on the links and it'll take you right to her stuff. So today I wanted to share the first stuff that I'm going to be using of hers and then get started on a little project. So she has this folder envelope template kit, and it comes with 5 different pages. So you get the base of the template, and then you get this page that has 3 tabs on it, a journaling card, and these words. You get this page that has 2 pockets on it, and then you get this page that has 4 pockets on it. You've got a couple of corner pockets here and a couple of regular pockets. And then the 5th page is 2 tags and a journaling card. So that is the first kit I'm using of hers. And then this is the second. This is her 30-piece Ephemera kit, I believe is what she has it called. But anyway, I printed this out at full size, and then I also printed it out at half size, so 2 pages to 1 page, and printed that out and cut it out. And I have everything all cut out and ready to go. So you get this page, and then you get this page. I like these little old, like oh, what are they called, the library index little card things, you know, when you had to go to the little wooden box and search through and find what library book you wanted. These are pretty cool. I really like this one, not only for the color, but because it's got the staple there still, and you can see where another staple had been. I think that's really cool. So then you get another one of those book things for the library. Here's another one. You get this little guest check, which I think is cute. A couple of shrunk down time cards. There you go. That's the name I'm looking for. Here's another little guest check thing in a different color. And this journal check, I think that's really cool. The journal check. I think that'd be really cute in the front pocket of like a journal, and just put, you know, the color and the pages and all that stuff on there. I think that'd be neat. And then you get this Western Union telegram, some more bingo cards, and a little price tag. And then you get another journal check that's just set up a little bit differently, another bingo card, and a tag. You get quite a bit in this kit. And then here you get the 3 different tags. So you get a blank one, you get a layaway, and this one's for some fancy bakery in Rock Island, Illinois. So those are pretty cool. So like I said, this is for Caroline's Craft Tree. And I have already printed everything out and cut it up, and we are ready to go. So I did want to share some things that I'm going to be using. So here I have the kits just all printed out, cut up, ready to go. And then for the backs of some of the tags and things, I might be using some of my own coffee dyed papers. And then I also have some music page here. And then I'm going to be using some gorgeous designer pages that come from the Paper Studio pack. It is cardstock, and it's called Distressed Floral. You get 20 designs of or you get 20 different designs and 3 pages of each design, and this is a Hobby Lobby brand. Okay, so I've already kind of planned out where I want to put my pockets and stuff, but the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and cover this with the paper we want to cover it with. And I've already chose a couple of different prints I want to use. I have this one that has the faded floral on it and postcard and some script and that kind of thing. And then I have this that is just kind of like this fleur-de-lis pattern, and then it's got the like weathered wood look. And I thought that that was really pretty. So I think I'm going to use this for the background. So I'm going to take it and just flip it over. And I will be sewing around some stuff. So I'm not going to glue everything perfectly down because, like I said, I will be using the sewing machine. So let's just go ahead and use our glue stick just to tack it in place. And as I was cutting this out, it was very easy to cut out. Even her thumb holes were pretty easy to cut out, so that was nice. She made the thumb holes nice and big to where it wasn't too difficult to cut them out. So I'm just going to place this on here. And give it a good press. I've already gone in and scored my lines. So as we glue things down and cut them out, we will reinforce our score marks there. So I'm now just going to take my scissors and recut around this. And I'll show you a bit of this and then I'll go off camera and do it because you don't need to see me cover 50 pieces of stuff because there are several pockets and I am using as many of them as I can in this project, and I think it's going to come out really cute. I already have a layout in mind, and I'm going to make this like very shabby chic, and I'm going to add some laces to it and that kind of thing. So I think it's going to turn out really cute. Okay, so I'm just trimming this out. I just got these scissors too, and this kit was the first thing that I cut out with these scissors, and I'm loving them. They're the Fiskars spring loaded, and they're the titanium blades, which are supposed to last a little bit longer than just the regular steel blades. And the good thing about Fiskars, even though some of their stuff is kind of pricey, they have a lifetime warranty. So if anything of theirs breaks or gets dull or stops working for some reason, if you contact the company through email, they will, you know, obviously request proof that you own such item and things like that, and then they'll replace it, which is really nice, especially when you're putting out all that money. So let's grab the other piece, making sure we have it going in the same direction. I'm going to go ahead and fold my creases real quick, just so we know where that's at. Okay, so we're just going to fold that where it's already been folded. Go in with our bone folder. And as you can see, it's coming off of there, but I'll just stick a bit more glue there. Rub it down. And we'll do the same thing here. Okay. Now, put glue all over this side. If you are using a wet glue for this, that might be better. I'm just using the glue stick for the ease of it for the video. Okay. Now I'm going to place this down here. Make sure you push down your creases where it's been creased, because that will try to kind of tent up a little bit, and you want that to be down. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my scissors and trim around this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here I have it completely trimmed out on both sides. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to ink around it, and I'm going to use one of my favorite colors, Worn Lipstick. I love this shade of pink. I also have the Kitsched Flamingo, but I haven't used that one a whole lot yet. But I'm just going to go around it and ink it. There will be a bit more inking here in just a moment. Flip it over, and I did, of course. I got my wood grain going 2 different ways. Oh, that's not quite all the way up to it. I'm leaving my corners for now because I'm going to go back after I sew around this and corner round them. So I have little pieces of white sticking out there, but that'll be gone, so no worries there. Okay, so I'm going to now take this to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to do a stitch around the outside of this, and we'll be right back. And welcome back. So, now that I have gone around, and I just did a straight stitch and then tried to go around that, and I'm not the greatest at going around circles, so please don't laugh. Anyway, I'm going to take my little corner rounder here, and I'm just going to go back and round these corners. Do. Okie doke. So, now that we have that, we want to go back in and reinforce the fold. Use our bone folder to give it a little bit of a press. Do it kind of slower because, you know, you do have 3 layers of stuff there, and mine's kind of cracking a bit, but that's okay. It'll be okay. Because I have ideas. Okay. So, I'm now going to take my Distress ink and go over the little spines that we just made, or folds, or whatever you want to call them. Spines, folds, creases. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is it's going to open this direction. So I am going to, once I'm done with this, put some Velcro dots on here. We're going to have one here and one here. And then it's going to open and close, but I want to put my pockets in first. So for the pockets, let me show you what I have in mind for those. So on the very back here, I'm going to use the 2 corner pockets. And as you can see, let me grab her kit, the one that I haven't cut up yet. Okay. So as you can see on her kit here, she leaves you the flaps on 2 of the sides for the corner pockets. Now, the way I'm going to use the corner pockets, I cut the flaps off of mine for this purpose. So what I want to do, that's like in my way. So what I want to do is I'm going to cover these with paper, of course, but then I'm going to glue this one down like so. Then I'm going to put this one over top of it like this. And then we're going to have a pocket here and a pocket here. So I'm going to cover these with paper, ink them, sew around them, and then I'll come back and we'll glue them on together. Okay, so here we are back. I'm going to bring you guys in some so you can see. So as you can see, I have backed these pockets and I've inked around them and I've sewn around them, and now I'm just going to trim these threads a little bit, but I do like to leave some of them there. And now we're going to glue them on the back, and I am going to use my Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to first lay these on here and see which way they lay best. If it's best to put them this direction, or if maybe I should put them this direction. I think I'm going to put this side underneath. Now let's see if I can get my Fabri-Tac open. Oh yay, it opened. Okay. So I'm just going to go with the Fabri-Tac around the 3 sides. Okay. I'm going to stay away from our crease a little bit, and the stitches on the bottom of the pocket I'm lining up with the stitches on the bottom of the base. Okay, same thing here. We'll just use our Fabri-Tac and we'll go around the 3 sides. And then this one, you want to keep it lined up as well. You want to line it up with the other pocket and keep it in away from the edge a little bit. And then make sure you hold that for a second. If you want to clip it to keep it from sliding around, you can do that as well. I'm just going to hold it for a second. Make sure the glue is back on my Fabri-Tac. I like to keep my Fabri-Tac in this little glass jar that I have, This came from some yogurts, and I just kept the glass jar. And I like to keep my Fabri-Tac in there upside down so it's ready. Okay, so far that's what we have on the back. So we have a pocket in the back, and then we have a pocket in the front there. So now we're going to go inside, and as you can see here, I have two small pockets. Now in her kit, she has a small pocket and a larger pocket. So what I did, the way I'm doing mine, is I wanted to have as many pockets as possible, right? So this pocket fits here, but had I put the larger pocket on the bottom here, it would have interfered with this thumb hole here. So I cut the larger pocket down to be the same size as the smaller pocket. So now I have a pocket that's going to fit here and here. So when I cover these with paper, I don't want to cover my flaps. I just want to cover this front part. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. We'll take this piece, and I'll just show you guys this once, and then I'll do the other one off camera, because once you see how it's done, you know, we all know how to glue paper to paper and, you know, ink around it. Okay, so this does have some words on it that are going to end up being sideways, but I don't really care. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these flaps in. I'm going to put my glue on the front part here. And then I'm just going to set that on there. Smush it down real good. And then I'm going to keep those flaps folded in. And I'm just going to very carefully trim around it without cutting into my flaps. Okay. There, I'm getting a little close to my flap, but that's all right. If you do end up cutting into your flap, you could always just cut it off and use it without the flap, or you could glue a piece of paper over it, or even put a piece of paper, a new piece of paper on there as a hinge. There's many ways to fix it, so. Okay, let's just cut out this thumb hole here. Okay. And now I'm going to ink around this, and then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew around it as well. I want everything sewn around to make it all look like it's stitched. But when you take this to your sewing machine to sew around it, you want to make sure your flaps are open. That way you don't sew your flaps down, because that'll defeat the purpose of them being there and cause more bulk when it wouldn't be needed. So again, when you go to sew this, make sure you open your flaps up and then just sew around it. Okay, so I'm going to do the other pocket like this, sew around both of them, and then we'll come back and put them in the book. Okay, thanks for waiting that 0.5 seconds for me. Anyway, here we have our two pockets. I have put paper on both of them, and I've inked them, and then I sewed around them. And no, I did not sew the top. I know I didn't sew the top. I'm not very good at sewing around circles, so I just left it. Okay, so I like to fold my sides in and then my top up. That way when you're putting things in and out of your pocket like this, it won't get caught on that bottom lip. If you were to do it this way, then that's more likely you're going to slide your stuff in there and it's going to get caught and not want to go all the way down. So I prefer to do it this way. So I'm just using my Barely Art glue here. And we're just going to glue on the flap. You want enough that it's going to create a strong hole, but you don't want to get so much that it's going to seep out. You don't want to glue your pocket closed. Okay. So we'll put this one right down here at the bottom. Paying attention to where our fold is at. Also paying attention to the corner. You don't want it hanging out over that rounded corner that we made. And you don't want it hanging up over our thumb hole pocket there. Well, our thumb hole. It's not a pocket. Don't listen to me. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the top one. Folding our sides in first and our bottom up last. Okay. We're doing good. And then we're going to put this here. Again, pay attention to where your fold is at. Pay attention to where your corners are at, as you don't want them overlapping. Okay, so there's our two pockets on that part. And now I'm going to take these two bigger pockets and I'm going to have this bigger one on the bottom like so. And then we're going to take this one that's not quite as wide and we're going to layer it right on the top of here. So then we're going to end up with a pocket and a pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and cover these with paper, ink around them, sew around them, and we'll be back to glue them in. Okay, so I have put paper on those, inked them, and sewn around them. So now, again, I like to fold my sides in and my back end last. So let's just put some glue on there. Some glue here. And then glue on this piece. Again, being careful to stay away from the fold enough that it's going to close. Trying to keep it as center as you can. Looks pretty nice. Okay, same thing with this. Fold our sides in first and then our back flap. And we'll go ahead and put glue all over our flaps here. And here. And then we're going to glue this directly on top of this one, lining it up. So here we're keeping the edge to the edge, top to top, bottom to bottom. Okay. And with the layers of cardstock in there, it is going to make it a little bit bulky. So now I'm just going to go back and make sure that my pockets are all open. Okay, we're going to fold this in, fold this in. We're going to make sure that these pockets are okay. Yeah. And I see a little bit of white here, so I'm just going to go back and ink that. Okay. So now what I want to do is make some ephemera for the pockets. So that's where I'm going to use her other pieces that came in the folder envelope kit, and I'm also going to use the 30-piece ephemera kit that she has, and I'm gonna stay with the shabby chic theme. So the first thing I think I want to do is I think I want to decorate this, and it can just slide in there. Well, that's not going to fit in there. It's a little too wide for our fold. Let's see if the big tag will fit in there. It's a little wide as well. So maybe we can stick the big tag in the back pocket, possibly, because I was thinking it'd look really cute with that and then this, but I think we're going to have to cut them down slightly. So let's get our paper trimmer out, and I'm just going to line these up like so. And then I'm just going to take a little bit off of each side. That way they stay, you know, the right shape. We don't have to worry about the tops too much. Okay, just trying to get this lined up. It might be easier for some people just to go ahead and make all new tags, but yeah, see, those are like spot on. Okay, I'm gonna do a bit more trimming with my scissors. Okay, I'm just going to cut this to make them exactly the same. Then I'm going to flip this one over. And then I'm going to line side to side up and then cut that little bit of extra off right there so that they're both the same. And then we'll line this up. That's pretty even looking. If you want to make sure it's completely even, then just kind of fold your tag like so. And then just kind of trim it. And you can double check with this one too, but those should be, yeah, those are perfect. Okay, so now let's see if these now fit in our pockets. And we wanted these in the back. Okay, so that fits in there nicely. And then that fits in there nicely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cover the fronts of these with cardstock. And then I'm going to cover the backs with coffee dyed paper. I will then ink around the edges on both the front and the back and take them to the sewing machine to sew around them, and then we'll be back to decorate. Okay, so I have put the designer paper on the fronts. I've put coffee dyed on the back. I've sewn around them. I have inked them, and I punched the holes for them. So the next thing I want to do for the holes is I have these hole reinforcements that I have just taken the worn lipstick and dyed them. And I picked up this Stays On ink in the color Dove Gray, and I want to stamp on these if I can get this open. I should have opened this before I came back on, but hey. Okay, so I have chose a script stamp. Let me grab a block. Okay, so I've got that on an acrylic block. I'm just going to ink it up with the gray, and then just going to do that and see how that gives that a nice addition. So, I'm going to bring my tags back in, and we're going to put one on either side. So you need 4 of these total of the reinforcements, and you don't have to color them or stamp on them or anything like that. I just think it adds a little extra to it. Okay, so we have that, so we can set these aside. Now I want to do a little bit of random stamping on this also with the gray. Just to kind of give us a bit of a element in the background. This one has words on the front, so I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping on the back of that one. Okay, I'll do a little bit on this one as well. I'm going to actually take this off and just kind of get a little bit here and there. Okay, it looks good to me. So for the ribbons on these, I have some pink satin ribbon over here. I cut way too much, I know I did, but that's okay. So just go in from the front, and then stick your tails through your loop. And when I pull, I like to pull up from here and then like this. And I think that tightens that up nicely without, you know, ruining your tag or ripping through your tag. So again, we'll cut ourselves a little piece. You go in through the front, bring up your loop, stick your tails through the loop, hold on to those, pull up from the front here, and then pull your tails up in the air. Okay, so to decorate these up, because we are putting them on the back in the pockets here, that there's not a whole lot of room here, I don't want to put anything that's too bulky in them. So I think what I'm going to do is, do I want to use book page or do I want to use the music paper? I think I'm going to use the music paper. And I'm just going to rip some like so. And I'll lightly ink around it. And then we're going to find a label. So we'll put this one here. And then we'll find a label. This one's a pretty cool label. Let's ink this a little bit with the pink. Okay, so I'm just going to take my Barely Art glue and I'm going to glue this music piece down. Again, I'm doing very minimal decorating on these tags because they are going in the skinnier pockets. So if you have too much bulk, you're not going to be able to get them in the pockets very well. So let's go ahead and glue our label on. Okay, and then let's do the smaller tag. Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing. A little bit of ink, glue it down, and we'll find a label to go with it. Okay, make sure that fits on there. Let's see if there's anything in her ephemera kit that I could put on here with it. That's too big. That one's too big as well. Okay, we could put this little time card there. I'm going to use the smallest setting on my corner rounder and round these corners. And then I'm going to ink around it. And we will glue that down. And now I'm going to find a label or maybe a number to put on there. I like that. So let's ink this. And then we will just glue this down. Or should I put it over here? I think I'm going to put it over here. Okay, so there are our 2 tags for the back. So this tag is going to go right in here like so. And then the smaller tag is going to go in the front pocket just like so. And now for this front of this pocket, I would like to use one of her words. She has all these little words that she had with her kit. And I would like to use one. I think I'm going to use Delivered. I'm going to ink it up in pink. And I'm going to put a little bit of music paper behind it. And then I think we'll put some pink cheesecloth behind it as well, or maybe some lace, perhaps. I've got some lace set in here. Okay. Let's cut us a piece of lace off. This is just the lace that we get from Dollar Tree. So let's go ahead and glue our music paper down to the pocket. Just like so. And then, oops, it stuck to my finger. I just want the lace piece to be just a bit bigger than my word. And of course, we're going to use our Fabri-Tac to put our lace on because it's a fabric, and the Fabri-Tac just works so much better. Make sure we get our lid back on so we don't have a volcano mess. Put our lace across there. And then, since we're gluing to fabric, we're going to use our Fabri-Tac again. And we're going to put that on there just like so. It's very simple, yet it's very shabby chic and cute, and it gives that pocket an element of interest. So I really like this lace here, and our thing is going to close up like this. So I think I'm going to take this lace and I'm just going to run it along here like so. I think that'll make that really cute there. Let's see, or do we want it like this, kind of hanging over some? I think I'm going to put it like that, hanging over a bit. So, take our Fabri-Tac again and put it along the edge here. once this dries, the lace on here, once it dries, you could go back and stitch it with your sewing machine if you wanted to. My only thing with that is I've already stitched it, and then you'll see the stitching on the underside of it as well. I'm just kind of looking from the back side here and just kind of sliding the lace up to where it's all just hanging over ever so slightly, if you guys can see that there. And then from the back side here, I'll just cut the lace off even with the height. And then later on we may come back and add some pearls or some bling or something, and maybe a word or whatever. I know I want to do something here possibly, or just leave that. I'm not sure yet. But we are about out of time for today, so I'm going to call that a video. And the next time we come back, we will fill these inside pockets, and then we'll decorate the front up a little bit and put our self-adhesive dots on here to keep this closed, and then we'll be done with it. So I hope you enjoyed everything I did today. Again, Caroline's Craft Tree is the design team I am working on, and all her information will be in the description box down below, so feel free to go check those out. And if you took anything at all away from this video at all, please give me a thumbs up, like my video, subscribe, share it, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.